Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Hoping that you're all having a great day. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed to Team My Project 13, please do that and hit the notification button so you will be notified when I've uploaded a video. And you can follow me over at Twitter at Anthony131368, Google+, and of course here on my Project 13. Feel free to share any video out to all your social media. We're going to be talking about the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. This is going to be a long video. Feel free to skip ahead at any point and time. There's a lot of information that I'm going to feed you. Just a little over a week in using the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. For those of you that are interested in this device, maybe you've had the two previous gens and now you're looking to get this one. I'm going to discuss some areas that I've had some trouble with. And I'm going to be blunt and honest right now. I've been giving everybody advice to wait till this device drops in price before picking it up, because there's not enough here to warrant the price point of 450 smacks. So I'm going to take my own advice and I'm actually going to return this device. Number one, because of that. And number two, because I am having some issues while shooting video. Now, the first issue when shooting video happens to be the lens flare. And I don't mind that so much, okay? I don't mind a little bit of a struggle. I don't expect perfection, but I use a lot of my devices while vlogging during the day and especially during the early morning vlog. Please check out the early morning vlogs. You will get a lot of information from me when it comes to the smartphones that I'm reviewing, okay? So with that being said, I really depend on my devices to perform. Again, they don't have to be perfect, but that way you enjoy the experience during the early morning vlog. There's not a lot of focus hunting. There's not a lot of shakiness, wobbliness, jello effect, cloudy, foggy, grainy. And in this case, we have lens flare going on. But again, that doesn't really bother me so much. But it is causing some cloudy, foggy video. But while using the front-facing cam in a recent video, I noticed that the exposure was struggling. It was just not stable. And I uploaded the video anyway. That's part of the reviewing process. Everything started out great. And again, even though the XA2 Ultra was struggling during the early morning vlogs a little bit there, it didn't really bother me that much. And those are one of the areas that Sony has to read their feedback that the consumers will be sending in with some areas that are not just right with the device, and that way they can send out a fix, a software update. But the front-facing vid struggling the way it was, really, that's an area I really depend on. Okay, I really, really do. And that's a huge deal breaker for me. A lot of you aren't going to do what I do. So it may not even be an area that you're even concerned with. Please remember that while you're watching this video. These are my experience that I'm sharing with you. And if you are a YouTuber, you want to start a channel and you want to pick up a smartphone because you can't afford a DSLR to shoot your video, the LG V20 is a great device. That's what I'm using. That's my most dependable video shooter for me here on my Project 13. But the other devices I will use from time to time, and I don't need a device to struggle that much. The Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra can be a winner if Sony sends out some updates to fix the areas that I'm talking about. The $450 price point is the number one weakness to this device for me. And I've been telling everybody to wait till it drops in price. I'm going to take my own advice and return this device and wait till it drops in price and wait till Sony updates the areas that I'll be talking about and showing you. Again, we're going to be going over some pros and cons. I know I said again, like I mentioned that already. I didn't. But we will be going over some pros and cons, negatives and positives. Some will agree to disagree. Okay? Because there's a lot of strengths. There's a lot of great, but not at 450 smacks and not with the issues that it's having for me. Doesn't matter what anybody else is going through. We're talking about me. I would say that if you have this device, you could test it out the way I've been using it and see what you think. But again, the majority of you aren't going to be doing the type of videos that I do. So it's not going to be a deal breaker. So please disregard that part of my experience. But if you are, and you're looking for a dependable device, for yourself personally or for a channel or for whatever you're using it for, then you need to listen to what I'm saying and take it to heart. Again, it's not about wrong or right here. You may not see what I see. So, I'm going to return it. I'm going to wait till it drops in price and see if Sony pays attention to the feedback and fixes the issues. And I'm going to be letting you know if I hear any of that news. I will get back to all of you. Now, the thing is, even if I wanted to exchange it and to see if it is the device itself, maybe I got a bad device, a bad Apple. Well, I ordered this in. I had to pick it up at Best Buy because they're not going to be getting them in until March 5th. So if I decide to buy again, I'm just going to walk in the store after March 5th and buy one once they lower the price and once I know that those areas have been dealt with, at least to a point. Again, I don't expect perfectness, okay? I don't expect perfection, but I need something that I can rely on. And anyway, let me play this video and you can see the lens flare and hopefully...
Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. It's early in the morning. I got my coffee, as I usually do. I got some fruit. I'm hungry. And glad to be here chit-chatting with all of you. Hopefully your morning is going well. Got the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra on the dash of my car attached to the Easy.
So you can see the lens flare going on there. And again, that... it kind of looks kind of cool to me. I don't have a big issue with that as long as there is some clarity while I'm vlogging and that's not taking too much of your attention while I'm sharing my thoughts or just giving out information on a specific device that I'm reviewing, because I need you to pay attention to that and not what's going on in front. You know, it's nice to have that view early in the morning, but that's a time that we share a lot of important information and whatever is there for me to share and then get some great feedback. And the last thing I want is to get constant feedback on how bad your experience was in watching that video. But it needs to come, that feedback needs to come to me. I need to be able to read it. I need to be able to, you know, see if there's a fix for, you know, as far as in the settings, you know, can I go into the manual settings and set up in a way where it can take care of some of those issues? But if it is what it is, and there are issues going on, then it needs to be dealt with, in this situation, Sony. Okay. But again, that's not so much of a deal breaker. Now, what is, this tempered glass screen protector, just isn't doing that great. You can go check out the video on that. Where is that video? OEN case. The OEN case is phenomenal. Love this case. Okay, but the tempered glass screen protector that came with it just sucks. $11 for the case though. They both come together in the same box, but yeah, you can check out other accessories for the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. So let's go to right. Oh man, I hit that button again. Yeah, the sensitivity when touching my display on top of this tempered glass screen protector is just not doing well at all. Okay, so let me show you this. I want you to see the struggle with the exposure.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Hoping that you're all having a great day. It was a long day for me. It's good to be here chit-chatting with all of you, doing another video test. Yep, that's right, another video test. How many video tests can I do on the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra? Many of them. That's what you got to do when reviewing a device.
Okay, so it was going from light to dark, dark to light. You could see that it was not stable. And I've had less expensive devices and not had that struggle. So, and that's what I'm talking about. And that constantly going on, guaranteed the feedback is not going to be great. So for me at this point in the game, it's basically allowing myself to follow my own advice when it comes to the price point. 450 smacks. For me personally, I depend on these areas for all of you, That way you can enjoy your viewing experience, when it comes to my vlogs. And, they're very important to me, to share what's on my mind with all of you. And I don't need that going on a constant. So that's a personal preference when creating content here on YouTube for Team My Project 13. Price point, as far as what's on this device, way too expensive. It should have at least been marketed at $399 smacks and then dropped to like a sale price of $349. Okay. And with some of these issues here, again, if they don't pertain to you because you don't utilize the video shooter like I do, then disregard what I'm saying. But if you are going to be shooting a lot of video, like at a birthday party event, or you're at a luau in Hawaii, maybe you're at a parade, it's in the dark and you're depending on your video shooter, this is somewhat what you're going to end up getting unless Sony pays attention to it. And at 450 smacks for what you're not getting on the device and going through some of these struggles, you're going to be frustrated. Okay. So $399 down to $349 because you always see a sale going on at Amazon or Best Buy. Or other places as well. That's up to you to check out where you want to pick up your devices. With these areas dealt with, then you're really talking about a great device, because these areas for me are overshadowing a lot of other killer areas. Now let me go to my Sony Xperia XA Premium, and I have some pros pulled up here. Works great as a phone and connectivity. Performance is awesome. Awesome. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 630 is doing awesome. Battery life, depending on how heavy I'm using my device, I'm getting, my device being the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra, I'm getting up to about 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours. Let me getting messages in here. I think I'm going to turn off the notification here. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Again, I told you this was going to be a lengthy video. My apologies. All right, let me go back to where I was. Okay, here we are. So, battery life is sufficient, man. You got a 3580 milliamp battery life, 3580 milliamp battery life. If I can just get all of that out, is going to be great for me if I decide to pick up the device again. And depending on what you're doing with yours, it should be awesome as well. Again, if you are a gamer 24/7, if all you do is watch movies all day long and videos, you never set your device down, well, you may get a little less than that. It just depends on what you're doing, man. Those are old conversations, but I got to throw them in there. Beautiful 1080p display. Loudspeakers, not just loud, but the quality of the audio that you're receiving through your ears is great. So you got loud. And let me just play that really quick. Again, I told you, and I'm going to remind all of you, this is going to be a long video. Great single speaker. I wish it had two, but man, this is great for your listening experience. Cannot go wrong when listening to your music or watching movies or videos. There are settings that you can go to, and I know I just went off track a little bit here, but that's what this video is about. I told you I was going to give you a lot of information, so please, if you're skipping through the video, go back and watch it again. But you are able to change up the audio settings right here. You got clear audio, which I have on, and dynamic normalizer. So, and then there's settings for when you plug in a wired headset. Okay, so you got all of that, and now we're going to get to the display. You got, you can mess around with your color gamut and contrast and your white balance. I got mine set. Well, there's the white balance, which I haven't messed with because it's just fine. But the color gamut, I got to super vivid mode and everything looking great. If I go here, it changes up a little bit. to standard mode and then off, you can kind of see what it's doing there. Okay. You see it? Okay. Ever so slight. All right, so let me go back out. I'm going to play a video really quick. And we'll be talking about the display in my cons when we get to that area of the cons. And it's not that big of a deal, but for what they're charging, it is. At $399 at a regular price, and getting a sale on this device that can knock $50 or so off, then the 1080p display isn't such a huge discussion. But at $450, at this point in the game in 2018, with smartphones and with how many other choices you have out there that you can pick up, literally, the Moto Z2 Force, the OnePlus 5T, there are many choices that have 2K displays. This should have had a 2K display. But let me okay. Now, I cannot play any of the volume, but let me just show you. Oop, bumpy cam. Look at that. Okay, I know that's kind of hard to see. Let me pull it back a little bit. But trust me, from where I'm at, it's even better than what you're seeing it at. I mean, it is a phenomenal 1080p display. It is vivid. It is sharp. I don't see any softness to the video. It looks a little blown out on how you're watching it, but trust me, it's not like that with me right here watching it. So, anyway, quick video sample. Trust me, they killed it. Sony killed it with this display. So, with that being said, we'll go back to the pros. You have a headphone jack, quick charge 3.0, and I love the size of the device. And at the point in time that I did the pros and cons in the early morning vlog, I said, camera still reviewing, so far good, more to come. Now, when it comes to pictures, I have no issues. I love the quality of the pictures. They're great to me. That's my opinion. You may think different, but I'm going to stand by that. Rear cam shooting video, doing great. Just that lens flare, a little bit of foggy and cloudiness early in the morning vlogs, and the front-facing cam struggling with exposure, not stable. Okay, so we got that. Here are the cons. Price, wait for that to drop. I put $399 to $379. Most likely, I think it would have been fair to start at $399 and wait for a sale to come along and then pick it up. No water resistance, no wireless charging. Should be more storage. It's only 32 gigs of internal storage. It should have been 64. And you have 4 gigs of RAM. And it should have had a 2K display. And you might think of other areas. Okay. So that's where we're at. Okay. I'm going to hold that there one more time. And then you can let me know your thoughts. You can put the video on pause. And if you've been skipping through the video, hopefully you watched this part. Whether you agree with me or not on the areas that I'm talking about, remember, everybody's going to have personal preference. Everybody's going to have their areas and that they are going to depend on when it comes to any smartphone, whether you're spending $50 to over $1,000. It does not matter. If you are interested in this device, the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra, paying $450 isn't a smart move. The price points that I've been talking about are really going to push this device out to the consumer as long as Sony deals with those other areas for those of you that will utilize shooting lots of video, whether it's from the rear or the front. If that's not an issue for you, or if that's not an area that you care about, then price point is what you're looking at. And like I said earlier, for me, I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to return it. I'm going to wait till it goes in store at Best Buy, and I'm going to wait to see if those issues have been dealt with. Again, I'll be letting all of you know if I find out anything, and then it's a device that I may revisit, because then it's at a price point that's more affordable for what I'm getting and what I need. And it's going to be dependable in the areas that I need it to be dependable in. Make sense? Sure. It makes a lot of sense, and it should make a lot of sense to you. Now, this is going to be my final thoughts, my final review. I didn't say that in the beginning, but this basically is what it is. I have to factory reset this device, take it back, and I'll tell them why. And if they don't think that's an issue, I'll pay a $30 restocking fee, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, especially if I can pick it up later when it drops in price and it goes, on sale. And I would love to revisit it, because I would love to go back and make, I would love to not go back. I would love to make another video down the road on this device and compare it to what I've been going through with it for the last 7 days. I wanted to be able to spend more time with my devices in 2018 with the reviewing process, a longer length of time before getting to my final reviews, my final thoughts, the vlogs that I put out there for all of you when reviewing a device, when it's all said and done. That way you can take that and add it to your homework. But the areas that I'm concerned about is enough for me to stop it here and wait till later to pick it up. And like I said, I'd love to do a comparison video later on with this device, and hopefully it'll finally be where it should be, not just in price point, but in the areas that it's been struggling for me. So anyway, I'm going to end up repeating myself now, and so I will stop. Thanks very much for watching this video. It's a very long video. Again, I just think it's information that a lot of YouTubers may want to know or need to know, and a lot of the consumers, if you're interested in this device. It could be a faulty device, okay? I don't want to disregard that. I said that earlier in the video. It could be. But my major advice in the beginning was to wait for it to drop in price, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to manage my money wisely for the channel and make sure that it doesn't hurt me in the long run. Thanks for all the feedback in the videos that I've uploaded with the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra, the constructive criticism, the care, the support while reviewing this device. I've had a lot of fun with it. I love the big form factor. I love the display. My viewing experience with movies for the last week or so have been phenomenal. I've enjoyed the speaker. It's just been fun. I just wish that those other areas were dealt with now, and this device would be staying with me and not going back to the store, plain and simple. This case is going to stay with me because I'm looking forward to possibly picking this up again, the areas dealt with, the software updates, and me be able to put this case back on a newer device, the newer Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. And we'll see. You know, it won't be newer. It'll actually be older, right? I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Anyway, man, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to know, let me know down below. And yeah, have a great day, man. Please subscribe, like I said, and share out to all your social media. And without you, this journey doesn't happen. God bless. Peace.